everybody. Thank you so much for coming to the Intuitive Art Show. I'm Rachel Archelaus, and today we have Daniel Scranton as our guest. He'll be on in a second. Daniel is a longtime friend of mine. He's a pretty amazing guy. He is a channeler. He's a Reiki master. He teaches all sorts of stuff about how to connect with your guides and channel and do sound healing and have a business that's purposeful and so much more. I think even about raw foods. So he's definitely somebody that has a lot of information. I'm not even sure where this conversation is going to go. We're going to start out with an intuitive art drawing about channeling, because I wanted to draw the concept of channeling and see what intuitive art would say about it. So I will show y'all, and then Daniel will comment on how he feels about what it said. So this is the drawing, and it kind of reminds me of a television, which is kind of cool. We have this blue, light blue, green color in the middle, which is about light healing and just an overall well-being color. And then scattered in here is like little bits of anxiety, little bits of like nervous energy or excitement, excited energy, that kind of anticipation. And then around it is my spiritual color. So all of this is framed in a very spiritual way. And then on the outside is a little bit of my expression color. So it all seems to make sense to me, right? There's like this general well-being with some excited energy in there. It's all framed in that spiritual kind of divine way. And then there's an expression color. So we're expressing whatever's going on in here. So, Daniel, how would you say that makes sense to you?
Well, when I saw it, I immediately was struck by the purple. And to me, the purple was like the portal, which is funny because we were just talking about a dream with a portal.
Yeah.
And when I see the yellow as like the support. So these are like all the beings that are around us when we're channeling, that are like not just the channeled beings themselves, but like when I channel now, I assume like all of them are involved, not just whoever's speaking through me, but like Archangel Michael will be there, Kuan Yin, Ophelia, the Hathors, like they'll all be kind of supporting the entire thing. And then when I saw what you called the anxiety strips, I thought, oh, those are the downloads. Those are like, that's like the information that then has to be interpreted by the channel. I'm not really sure what the blue is to me, in the middle.
Yeah.
But I guess that could be like what is actually transmitted.
Mm-hmm.
What the channel actually brings forth or transmits in combination with the beings. So that's how I interpreted it when I saw it.
Cool. That's really awesome. So let's see where to begin. I think, for people who really want a primer on your life and how you got started channeling, they should go and listen to the episode we did on Soulfullpreneur Radio, because we really go into your backstory. And even on your website, you've got a bio about how you started channeling and everything. I'd rather get into how you've evolved, and you started teaching so many new classes, and I'd love to know how that's going and how you get the inspiration to teach new things.
One of the things that is almost surprising to me, because at first I was just like, I'm a channel, this is what I do. If you want a session, book a session with me. And I didn't even ever think of myself as being a spiritual teacher. But then somebody approached me and said, hey, can you teach me channeling? And I liked this person. She was a client. I was like, sure, I'll connect with you on Skype and we'll do some, I'll make something up. And so we did like a couple of private lessons. And then I was like, ooh, I like this and I'm good at it. I'm going to start charging for it. So I told her, yeah, now I'm going to make this into a thing that I do. And I'm charging for it. And she was like, okay. And then, so at first I started just doing the private one-on-one lessons. And then I did the group classes. And I always did the same group class every month. It was the beginners. It was everything I know about channeling plus 3 processes to get you into the channeling state and speak and write and do all this stuff. And then at a certain point, people kind of just, so you asked, where does the inspiration come from? Well, sometimes it's like people stop signing up for the classes and then like, okay, I need something new. And then what I realized people might like is an advanced channeling class. And then I was like, and they probably would also like to be taught by my guide. So now in the advanced channeling classes, I'm channeling the creators, the Pleiadians, Kuan Yin, forget who else, Michael. And they take people through different processes and get people channeling different guides every class. Every class in the advanced one is different.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then, okay, so then like, I don't know, I think about doing the classes for a long time before I actually do them. Like I just finished my first creative writing class.
Mm.
And creative writing is something that is very near and dear to me. I've written 25 full-length feature screenplays, hundreds of poems, some television scripts. Like I've not really written short stories, or a novel, but I still can teach about that sort of thing because it's the same hero's journey in those as it is in the screenwriting. And so, so that was one thing I thought about doing for a long time before I finally pulled the trigger. The same with the raw foods class. I was like, I'd really like to, and I should do it. And then at some point I just do get the inspiration to do it. And the business one too, I think I thought about doing that for a long time. And then I just kind of guess. I'm like, I think this will be like 3 1-hour classes, or this is 4 1-hour classes. And it always turns out that I have just enough material for that many classes, and it works out. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you enjoy being a teacher?
I love it because when I channel, it's like my poor little ego has to like sit in the corner, and gets bored and just like wants to be over. But when I'm teaching, I'm like fully integrated, like I'm there and I can be a part of it. So I like it.
Very cool. Yeah. And you're still channeling yourself. So
yeah. And I teach what I'm passionate about,
mm-hmm.
Which is good because
very cool.
There's lots of things, there's lots of classes I could offer, but if I'm not going to enjoy doing it, then what's the point,
Yeah. Awesome. So let me ask you a question. I wonder about you always have so much going on, and I'm always like, wow, Daniel he's on it. He's doing things. Like, does it just appear that you're always busy, or do you have time for yourself? And
oh yeah, tons.
Okay.
Tons of time. Yeah, I don't think I could do this if I was working like a 40-hour week doing
mm-hmm.
it. Too much. But yeah, I mean, I send out a lot of emails, but the daily quote that I do is like almost for me. Like that's like you as an artist, gets to create something. It's like, I feel like I'm going to go and find out what the Pleiadians, because those are the ones I'm channeling lately, have to say about this, or not about this, because I don't know what the topic is going to be, but I'm going to find out what they have to say. Then I'm going to go and find a pretty picture to put it with and put it all together and put it out there for people. And it's just fun. And I get to see what people think of it in the comments on Facebook and how many people like it. And it's just, and then where it gets shared all over the internet. So that's like fun for me to do that. And then everything else like that I do, I would say I don't usually work more than 3 or 4 hours a day.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Yeah. So for people who are new to Daniel here, he has a daily quote that he shares that he channels. And I would definitely sign up for his email list so you can get those. I love them. I normally read them on Facebook before I get the email, but oftentimes in the morning, if I haven't been up late to see your quote, I'll read it in the email, and it just sets my tone for the day. It's just such a nice reminder. And the ones that seem really resonant to me that I know I want to read every single day, I print out and I tape up on my wall.
Oh, yeah. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the ones that I really like are not the more popular ones on Facebook, and the ones that I'm kind of like, this is okay. those tend to get like a lot more likes on Facebook. So sometimes they're not for me, I think. Or sometimes I feel like they come and they're just so leading edge that like not as many people can get them. But the ones that a lot of people are resonating with is the stuff that I'm channeling like for my clients all the time too. So you know what I mean? So it's like it's not new material for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny you say that too, because I know I was just talking about this with my photographer friend. Oh, you know Megan.
Yeah.
The work that we tend to really, really like ourselves is not the stuff that other people like. It's the stuff, we throw together. We don't really think about. That's the stuff people really like. So it goes with the channeling world too, I guess. It's so funny. Yeah. So how has doing this changed you? You're teaching more, you're going into new areas, you're bringing your creative writing into your main work, which you haven't done before. Do you feel like you've evolved and integrated more because of that?
Well, I mean, I can credit most of the good things in my life to the fact that I do what I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I can credit what I do, the things I do, to all the years of meditation that led up to it. Like I was determined to follow my bliss in life, and meditate, and I needed to meditate. I just need it every day. And I followed Abraham and Esther around the whole world, and did workshops and cruises, and all of that, I think, helped to attune me to get me to where I am today. But yeah, if I didn't start channeling, I don't know what I'd be doing right now with my life. And I certainly am doing better financially than I was running my eBay and Amazon business, which I did work more than a 40-hour week at. So I'm incredibly blessed to be able to do this. And yes, I feel like, and that's what the Pleiadians told me in the private message that they gave me this morning, was to acknowledge and celebrate myself more for the progress that I have made in my life and just as a person. And I do owe a lot of that to just going within. Like if I didn't go within, if I was just like doing things, which is what I've always been very doing oriented in my life ever since I was a kid. Even if I was just always out doing things, I don't think I would be able to say that I've made the type of progress as a person. And then that translates into your life,
Yeah. Very cool. Can you share your meditation practice with us? What do you do?
Okay. So as soon as I wake up and I'm like, okay, I'm up now, because I wake up a lot of times throughout the night. But once I'm like, okay, I've gotten my 8 hours, then I put my hands on my heart like this. And I really want to tune into my heart. So I'm breathing and I'm counting the breath. But as I breathe in and out, I'm saying, I know I am the love that's in my heart, or something like that. I can't remember. It's funny because I've said it so many times. But yeah, it's something like that. And then I feel for it, like I'm tuning myself to who and what I actually am by focusing in on my heart. And I count 60 breaths. And once I get 60 breaths without falling asleep or getting distracted, then I just stop counting and I continue the meditation without the counting, because I feel like that's a little bit different. And then when I feel like I'm done meditating, I'll do a focusing on the vibration of joy, which is right in my solar plexus / sacral chakra. I'm never really sure like where that one begins and the other one ends. And I focus there and I immediately start laughing. So I basically channel laughter when I tune to the joy vibration. And then once I've done that for like 3 minutes or so, I don't time it, but I just kind of put it until I feel it like out emanating in my field. Then I channel the private message to me from the Pleiadians. and then I get up.
Cool. Do you channel that private message in your head, or do you speak it out loud?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I don't do a lot of channeling in my head, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm not hearing little voices or
Mm-hmm.
anything. I mean, when I channel, when I'm in the channeling state, I see things and know things and all that stuff. But like just walking around, I mean, the only thing I really channel when I'm just walking around is yes, and I'll just be like repeating yes over and over when I get into the shower or when I get into nature, or if I were to be like receiving a massage or something else, like where I'm just focused and, inwardly, it just starts coming out with the yes, yes, yes. But even that's not really in my head.
Very neat. Do you still hike every day?
Almost every day. Some days, so the trail is like really close to where we live, but some days we'll go into town, which is the opposite direction, and just won't be like convenient to get that hour and a half in to go hike,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go to the beach or something else in nature.
Yeah, I guess I should mention, for those of you who don't know, Daniel lives on Maui in Hawaii, and has a very luscious backyard to go enjoy nature in.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait for you to come back to Maui so you can see it.
I know, me too. Actually, in my meditation this morning, I was imagining being on Maui. So, yeah, that'll be great. I really love it. What is the energy like now that you've been there for a long time? When you come to the mainland, what's the difference that you feel?
The mainland to me feels, well, the only time I've left since I've been here is to go to LA where I saw you for the channel panel. And I felt it was exciting to be in the city with all the people and shopping and restaurants and stuff, but it was also very hectic. It's very, I'm very sensitive to energy. So like, I fully believe that if I were to move back to Santa Monica, let's say, that I would probably need to spend more time in meditation than I do here, just to function. Whereas here, it's like, it's calm. It's like being in the womb. I experience Maui as being like motherly energy, nurturing, home-like feeling. And, according to Bashar and others, Maui is where the heart chakra of the entire planet is located, in Mount Haleakala. And we actually live on Mount Haleakala, just on the foothills of it.
Very cool. Have you done the hike down the side of it yet?
No, it's like it takes hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
To there. So you really have to make a whole day of it, and then can't, like bring in like all kinds of gear that you're going to hike with and everything. So it's, yeah, I don't know if that's really, I'm not that intense in my hiking. Like I like nice, easy day hikes.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah. It just looks so cool. I've been up to the top and looking in. It just looks like another planet. It's just so neat.
It is crazy. It looks like Mars. It definitely looks like Mars up there.
Yeah. I'll try to put some pictures in this video so people can see if they've never been there. Yeah. So what is next for you? Do you have any idea of things you want to teach in the future, or just like feelings that are coming up for you about, your next evolution?
Yeah, actually, I'm thinking about teaming up with my partner, Mari Chris, for some kind of like longer course. The longest course I've done is the business one, which is 4 weeks. And we think we're going to do like a 6-week course because we'll both be offering different things. And I think it'll be about law of creation or like creation mastery or something like that. I don't know. There's lots of things I want to do, and I want to do lots of things with her because she has so many gifts, and I just want to share her with people, and people right now, a lot more people know about me than know about her, but, she needs to get out there and get seen because she's amazing.
Yeah.
She's right now outside in the rain.
That's so cool. Yeah, from what you've shared of her on Facebook, I mean, she is amazing and she's beautiful and she has such a bright energy about her. And I'm just excited that you guys are going to be teaming up. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
And she channels Kuan Yin as well as other beings, right?
Kuan Yin was the first one that she was channeling, and I was channeling Kuan Yin too, of course. When we met online. She was in Australia and I was here, so it was quite a distance. And then once she came here, she starts channeling Melchizedek, Jesus, Mary Magdalene, God, Archangel Michael, Archangel Ariel. So she's like brought through all of those beings already in the very short time since, it's only been like 4.5 months since I've known her.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I got to show you Bucky because he wants me to let him out. He's like trying to open the door. Hey,
I have a cat right now who wants to come in from the rain.
Hey. There you go. I don't know. What else? Is there anything else exciting you at the moment?
Well, I'm excited to be a part of this next channel panel event. I mean, we have 14 channelers in 2 days. And a lot of them are people that I'm brand new to. Like, I'm not familiar with their work at all. And I'm just excited to see like what the energy is going to be around that whole event. It's all online this time, so that's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's October 8th and 9th. But I'm just really excited to see how it unfolds. And yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Do you have a link that people can sign up through?
I need to get one on my website, but we have our own website now, thechannelpanel.com.
Okay, great.
So, yeah, make sure you have the in there and then channelpanel.com, and that's they just put it together and it's got all the channels in there and little information about all of them, and people can sign up. Yeah, and it's really affordable this year.
Excellent.
$35 for one day, $55 for both days. And then I'm also kind of excited just as a person to see what's going to happen, like with the.
Yeah, that was great.
That's Rachel's art back there, by the way. It's about my life. Yeah, I'm just kind of interested to see what happens with the equinox, and then I think September 29th is maybe an important date because it was last year. And then also the end of October, that's the day people say Atlantis fell. It was October 31st. So I'm kind of just like, I know my guides keep saying, you've got to create the experience you want to have of the shift and all this stuff that's unfolding. But I'm just, because Bashar had his big prediction about the fall of 2016, but I just kind of like want to see what happens.
Yeah, it's understandable. I'm the same way. I mean, there's so much going on this time of year and so many people predicting things. And, I'm going to be hosting a retreat in Sedona at the end of October, early November. So I'll be there for that, which is great. But I'm also flying to Connecticut for a month next week. And so I'm going to be kind of uprooted and all over the place. So it's fascinating to watch what's going on right now, politically and energetically. I mean, it's just such a wild card of what's going to happen. I think it's amazing. I'm not one of those people who thinks there's a bad outcome. I think whatever happens will be for our benefit, or at least in my reality, that's what's going to happen. Would I have preferred Bernie Sanders to be president? Yeah, that would be awesome. But maybe we've got to get to that great outcome another way, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
So what have you witnessed? I mean, how are you trying to create your reality, or are you just kind of doing your attunements every day and letting that be enough?
Yeah, I'm the type of person who kind of lets reality come to me in a lot of ways and doesn't. I'm very comfortable in my life, and I think the thing that I strive for the most is getting myself out there more, and getting my stuff in front of more people and building my email list and all of that stuff. But when it comes to me as a person, you know, I've got the perfect partner now. I live on Maui in this beautiful home on an organic farm overlooking the ocean. Like my health is good. So there's not a lot in my personal life that I'm striving for.
Mm-hmm.
But we are definitely going to be doing some traveling, which I'm excited about for the first time in a long time. Like I'm always very much like set in my routines and like my home, like creating the home that I want to live in, not always trying to escape and go somewhere else. But we're definitely going to spend time in Bali this winter. Because the Maui winters, believe it or not, they're not, you know, like where I live on Maui, especially, it's not like warm and sunny every day because it's up a little bit and we get rain. And I also like more daylight. Like I'm a person who likes to be outside and have more daylight. So I'm happy to go somewhere else in the winter. And in Bali, it's summer when it's winter here. So I'm excited to spend a month there and see how that affects me as a channel, you know, because I'll be working the whole time. We'll both be working. And it'll just be fun to see how that affects us, you know?
Yeah, that's really cool. If you need a house sitter, let me know. That's neat. You know, I've been thinking about Bali as well. I know a lot of people host retreats there, and it's a really health conscious, high vibe place. Has she been there before?
Yes, she has. Yeah, we'll definitely have to explore the possibility of doing retreats there. And that'll make it the whole trip a write-off too.
Yep. Yeah, pay for your trip and let you write it off as an expense.
Yeah.
I do that when I go to Connecticut.
Oh, yeah.
I just work and host stuff on there and then...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows, maybe we'll set something up that we'll do over there before we even go.
Mm-hmm.
Do something together, yeah.
Very cool. So I guess talking about business and growing your list and everything, have you found that doing the daily quote has been enough to get people onto your list, or do you also promote or advertise in another way?
What I've been doing, and one of the things that inspired this was trying to help Mari Chris get her business going. So one of the things I thought about was, you know, there's that time-tested thing of offering a free gift when you sign up for someone's newsletter, right? So I started doing that a while back. And then I also started offering a 50% off discount code. So people with their first session with me, so you can only use it once, and it's for the first session where I'm either channeling for you or teaching you channeling or something like that. And so I offered, so they get that code when they sign up for the email list. And so there's all these spiritual Facebook groups, as you know, and some of them have like over 150,000 members. So lately, I've been posting about joining my email list and how you get a free gift and you get the discount code and you get daily channeled quotes for free every day. And then also you get my newsletters. And so ever since I started doing that and posting in all these different groups, my list has grown by 100 people, which usually takes at this point a lot longer than it's taken. So that's something that I've just started doing. And it was an idea that I had for her. And I decided to do it myself. And she hasn't been doing it. And I have. But I also have this, you know, I had this idea to have when someone comes to my website for the first time, and it only happens when they come for the first time, is a pop-up window comes up and says, sign up for the newsletter. Mm-hmm. That was another thing that definitely increased my list. So
very cool. I love that. Yeah. I like the idea of posting in groups. I think some people would be worried that it would be seen as like inappropriate or something like that, but go for it, right? The moderator can take it down if it's not welcome.
Right. Yeah. I mean, admins do see it that way sometimes, and sometimes they don't. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the posts, when the groups that have to be approved, sometimes they're approved. and other times they call it advertising, but I'm giving channeled information away for free. So, and a free gift. It's not really like I'm saying, give me money.
Right. Yeah. Very cool. I love that. So in your business course, how did you structure it? Is it for people who are thinking about starting a business, or for people who are kind of in the early stages?
For both. It works for people who are just starting out or just even trying to figure out what it is they want to do. And it also works for people who have just started or have been going for a little while. Because I've been at it for about 6 years and I've learned a lot. And, so it starts out a lot of me just like telling stories and talking about things I've noticed and things I've learned from watching other people. And then it gets into more of the technical stuff and the how-to and what websites to go to. And I definitely talk about you in the course and other people who I witness, and what they're doing. And, like your dedication to teaching intuitive art is something that I talk about in the course, because I think it's really important for people to do what they actually want to do. Because obviously for me, like if I think about you as a psychic, I think, well, that's where you could easily make a lot of money, because people love psychics and channels. Everybody wants to talk to a psychic on a channel.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that's flattering. Thank you for including me in that.
Yeah.
And is that available on your shop as a pre-recorded class now, or do you only do them live?
The next one starting on the 22nd.
Cool.
Tomorrow. That'll be when the next one starts. Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, guys, Daniel has an extensive shop and is always teaching something live. So go check out his website, get his newsletter, and you won't be disappointed. I always love getting your emails, even if it's to see what new class you're teaching. I think it's so fun to follow you, and everything is so clear. The energy is clear. Like I get a lot of newsletters, and sometimes I scan through them, sometimes I don't, but sensitive people, we can feel kind of the intention behind it, and yours are a breath of fresh air. So thank you for that.
And I'm always impressed by how you make so many videos of yourself. Like I think if you want to do this type of work, putting your face on a video is really important. People really want to connect with who you are and your energy, and you're really good at doing that. I'm very lazy when it comes to appearing on video.
Well, we got you today.
I know. I shaved and did my hair and everything.
Perfect. Yeah. I don't know. It's just in me. I love doing that. But you produce daily content. You do the channel download, you type it up, you got a picture, you make the little quote picture. You also put it on YouTube, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I have over 1,000 of those now on YouTube.
Wow.
I know. It's been almost 4 years since I started putting them on YouTube. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then other people like repackage them on YouTube, which I'm happy that they do, because almost all the time when people repost or redo my quotes somewhere, they say it's by Daniel Scranton, and they'll even have like a link to me. But it's funny what people do, because they'll take the quote, which is channeled by me in a voice that I don't normally speak in, but they'll take it and they'll put it in like that computerized voice. You know what I mean? Like they'll must like take the text part and enter the text in their program, and then have that computerized voice. Ooh, excuse me. They'll have the computerized voice speak like 2 or 3 minutes, because the YouTube rule about 2 or 3 minutes, right? So
no, what is that?
Oh, you don't know that?
I don't know that. No.
They say people only want to watch a video if it's like 3 minutes or less, right? So mine are usually about 9 these days. So I think that might be why people edit them down. But I saw one that I did that someone repackaged on YouTube, and it's gotten over 5,000 views. And I'm like, whoa, mine are, if I get 500, I'm lucky. And this person obviously has a bigger subscriber list on YouTube. So that must be why they got so many. But
wow. And did they link to you in that one?
yes.
Oh, good.
And I commented, "Thank you for sharing," and she wrote back, and that was nice. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. I always find those weird though. I do find those like real with like.
I don't want to listen to that.
No, it's kind of freaky. It gives me the chills sometimes. Yeah, once in a while I'll Google my name and I'll find that people have put some of my quotes on like their own pictures and stuff, and it's flattering, but it's a little weird at the same time. Yeah.
I got blocked from the Pleiadians Facebook group. And I was posting my Pleiadian quotes in there, and then whoever the admin is blocked me, and I'm like, is this one of those people who's like using my quotes on their website and accepting donations? Because people do that too. They're like, hey, here's all this information. Give us a donation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you never know. But for the most part, it pays off for people to be sharing it. It's great to get that exposure, and of course, other people are gonna try and gain from it somehow.
Yep. So, science fiction.
Yeah.
What are you into these days?
Gosh, well, I'm waiting for things to come back.
Oh, yeah.
I just finished Dark Matter series season 2, which the Sci-Fi Network has so many good shows right now. They have Dark Matter, Killjoys, 12 Monkeys is my favorite. It's all about time travel. 12 Monkeys is just amazing. And then there's one called The Expanse, which it's really slow. It's like a Kubrick movie, it's just like really slow and not a lot of action. And I don't know if I'll get into The Expanse season 2 again when it comes, but that's what I've been watching. Mari Chris liked Farscape. I was already in the middle of Farscape when she came along, and she got so into it, and we finished Farscape and the miniseries. So now I'm kind of like waiting. Oh, there's a new one coming out. We saw when we went to see the Star Trek movie. There's a new one coming out on like NBC, which is all about time travel. This season, is about to start for that one. I forget what it's called, but I think it has time in the title.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I started The Expanse, and I don't think I got through the whole season, but give it a try. Yeah.
And then there's the Shannara Chronicles, which is more like fantasy. I finished season 1 of that. That's an MTV show. And then, there's other. I love Teen Wolf on MTV, which is also more like on the fantasy. It's they do werewolves and all different kinds of. There's no vampires in that one, but there's all different kinds of supernatural beings. And then there's another time travel one called Legends of Tomorrow. It's a DC Comics one. That was season 1. Like, it just kept getting better and better, and so looking forward to the next season. I don't know if you would consider Lucifer to be sci-fi or fantasy, but I love that show.
I haven't heard of that.
Lucifer, is the devil, and he comes to Los Angeles, and he's shifting, he's evolving. He's like, everybody thinks I'm this bad guy, but I'm like, I was sentenced to do that, to punish people. And it's phenomenally good. And he's got a brother who's in it, who's an angel, and they're at odds through season 1. And then there's like this big moment at the end of season 1. So it's really exciting. I'm super excited to see where that goes.
That sounds really neat. I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah.
I started watching The 100, I think last year or the year before, and it just got too violent for me, but it's a cool idea.
Yeah, I mean, some of them, it's like if I don't see any sort of spiritual component or anything about consciousness that's going to be in there, then I'm like, this is just technology. This is people with technology. But the cool thing that I've noticed about the science fiction shows that I'm watching is that they're very much like mirroring what Corey Goode is talking about in his interviews. Have you watched him at all?
A couple, yeah. Not the whole thing, though.
He's in a secret space program that's like 150 years ahead of NASA, and he talks about, there's people on Mars right now, there's people on the moon, there's all these extraterrestrials. We're dealing with hundreds of extraterrestrials all the time in outer space, and there are humans outside the solar system even right now. I mean, it's crazy what's going on. And these science fiction shows are pretty much like right there with that information. And they're also very much interested in consciousness and like what, AI and human consciousness and whether your consciousness can be altered in different ways. And it's good stuff. Like the science fiction writers are on it.
That's great. I love that. I love looking to our entertainment world for clues as to the evolution of our culture right now and our consciousness and where we're going and, where we are that we can't see. I think that's great. I've noticed a lot actually lately in pop culture where like these young influencers, Justin Bieber, Selena Gomez, like they're talking about not feeling authentic and about creating boundaries and evolution. And so I'm excited. I really think that we're definitely coming together and raising up, and it's just really neat. Yeah. Cool. Well, I think we'll end it here. Everybody, there's a lot out there to choose from. If you feel like there's nothing on TV to watch, there certainly is, or at least on your Netflix or Hulu if you don't have a cable subscription like me.
Tell Rachel what you're into so she can tell me, because there's probably stuff out there that I'm not watching. I'm like thirsty for more sci-fi.
Yeah, that would be great. Everybody tell us what you're watching, because I basically just watch cooking shows all the time. I've been like on a Top Chef binge and Cupcake Wars and all sorts of stuff. I'm into it.
We made our first batch of raw chocolate over here, and it came out so good.
I saw the picture. It looked amazing. What did you put in it?
Maca, cinnamon, cacao butter, cacao powder, coconut sugar, and some like sliced up almonds. And I think that was it. And then you don't even have to freeze it, and you just put it in the fridge and it hardens. And if you don't use coconut oil is going to make it like want to come apart, like melty, like melty. So I was told, don't use coconut oil. You don't need to freeze it, which is good. And then also grind up your coconut sugar so it's more powdery because it's a little bit coarse. Thing. And you put it in the blender or the Vitamix or whatever, and just it softens it up so that it has a different texture. And we nailed it on our first try. Like we just got the best raw chocolate out of our first batch. And if you want to make it raw, you have to melt the cacao butter over like a bowl of boiling water. Boiling water, your pot of boiling water, and then we put it on a plate, but a bowl would have been better. A bowl, ceramic or glass over it, so it just can melt without heating it above 105.
Yeah. Cool. Is that going to be another class that you're going to teach soon?
No, but next time I teach the raw foods one, I can include like, here's how to make raw chocolate. It's really easy.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And we got a spiralizer on Amazon, these things are really cheap. They're like $30 on Amazon, and they come with 3 different, settings for your spiralized stuff. And the first batch I made of like a pasta salad came out really good.
Yeah, I love mine. I think I have the same one. I love doing it with, the zucchini noodles and then putting pesto on it. I love that. So good.
Yeah.
Awesome. And our Whole Foods sells dairy-free pesto in a little pouch, which is really nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Yeah. Well, actually, we have a basil plant right now that could probably make enough.
Oh.
But it's like the only thing that is still alive in our garden. I don't know how it does it, but it loves the heat.
Cool.
Yeah.
She also made, I got the idea and she put it together, a pine nut dip. So we had all these pine nuts. They're really expensive. They're $30 a pound on Amazon. But put them in the blender with some basil, some parsley, some olive oil, some salt, and just, I think that's it. I don't think you need anything else. And just grind it up and she put some cashews in the second batch too, to add some more to it, but it comes out really good as like a dip for flax crackers or whatever.
Yum.
Yeah.
Very cool. Have you tried the spiralizer with other vegetables?
Yeah, beets. It works really well with beets. So far, those are the only two, those zucchini and beets.
Cool. I'll have to try that. I haven't done that yet. All right. Well, I will let you go.
Okay.
Thank you so much for the chats.
Yes.
Everybody go check out Daniel at the Channel Panel. It's thechannelpanel.com. And go to his website, danielscranton.com. Get on his newsletter and check out his shop and take his classes, because everything he does is great. So thank you so much for being here, Daniel. This was really fun.
For me too.
Awesome.
Okay.
Tune in next week, everybody. I'll see you then. Lots of love. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to intuitive art and you've never done it with me, go to intuitiveartacademy.com for your free class. You'll learn how to have a conversation with your higher self in 3 easy steps. That's intuitiveartacademy.com. And if you're already a pro or you've done the free class and you want to learn more about creating abundance from your purpose, go to workyourpurpose.com and you'll watch a free video series all about what it takes to create a purposeful income from doing what you love. All right, enjoy, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.